Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some of the kind of more craziest news, and I feel like I always say that in most of my videos, but when it comes to this, we are now seeing a really big PlayStation and Xbox game that's essentially now being pseudo-canceled, in terms of more of like the internet canceling, not the actual game itself being canceled. And well, a lot of folks are kind of curious on their connections with the Russian government and the fact that they might still be trying to go and collect, feed, and receive as much information for the Russian government as it possibly can in terms of their terms of service. Now, once again, I kind of think this is going to be like one of those things where maybe it's hopefully not that bad and hopefully not happening, but we're going to go talk about this like big terms of service and like this big collection and all this type of weird stuff when it regards to one of the more anticipated games that I myself cannot wait to go and play, which is funny because I've even promoted on my YouTube channel, even put a few of the trailers that actually did get okay traction on that one. So let's go talk about this because, well, it's not every day that video games get canceled for working with the government. So once again, it's not canceled, just internet cancel itself. It should be still coming out soon. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow Target. Howl links, we only have a little bit left, I think, on the Howl promotion, so check that out down below, and all the other various links too as well. So if you guys haven't seen this game, that's probably one of the most anticipated and most intriguing game that I myself have seen in quite some time. Now, this game is literally called Atomic Heart. Now, Atomic Heart, this is like coming out very soon. It's about like a month or so from now, it should be February. And if you guys haven't had a chance to glimpse on this and see this, it's probably one of the cooler games out here. Because we have a lot of like almost maybe BioShock vibes, a little bit of Fallout vibes. Like if you look through the kind of gameplay, combat, art style, and everything in between, it's very, very unique. And this is actually one of the games I think will hopefully be one of the closet like best games out here that just no one's expecting to be kind of good. Like these are all like robots or whatever, but like it's just cool. It's like a mixture, I keep saying, of like a BioShock RPG type style game. Art style looks amazing, everything looks beautiful, and you guys give me your thoughts and comments down below. Like I said, it's just really weird because it's like a robotic-y. Like I said, I get a lot of Fallout vibes from this to everything. Like it just is a cool looking game. It's just different, it's weird, it's unique. But the one bigger issue is this was actually made when it comes to like, say, Russian devs, and that's where the big drama's coming out over here. So first and foremost, a lot of people are kind of skeptical in the game itself just because they don't necessarily know like what's going to happen with it, how the game's going to work, what's going to happen, like just everything. Like they've never really seen these devs. They're kind of worried about how the game or if the game flow is going to be good. And I do think the game looks nice. It looks unique. It looks full. It's like a generally good game. But as we've kind of mentioned when it comes to gameplay itself, it's a little bit more different when it comes to harvesting the data, and this comes into the big drama right here. Well, right now, the Atomic Heart developers now have to go and deny that it's even harvesting data for the Russian authorities. And this is a big thing too because this is going to be on Game Pass, which in theory, hopefully Microsoft doesn't have like some crazy, weird, like interconnected crime mafia thing with like some Russian mob lords. Fingers crossed, you never know in this day and age. But when it comes to this stuff, we kind of see things like Microsoft on Game Pass having this game come out as well. We also have other things I believe coming out for PlayStation, other various titles too as well. And you just don't obviously want your information to be sold and harvested to be given to the Russian government, especially with how like the whole global world is going on right now. It's just not a good thing. Same thing too as well if you're doing like a TikTok or whatever. You don't really want the Chinese government knowing where you're at, what you're saying, what you're buying, and all your advertisement information or search history. It's just kind of like duh, like no one really wants that. I mean, hopefully, I mean, maybe if you guys, I don't know about you guys, but at least for me. So right now, Atomic Heart's been getting to really big, hot, and heavy heat over here when it comes to them having this big terms of service website policy that was essentially meant to go and be claiming data for Russian authorities. So as you guys can see, the website's privacy statement is outdated and wrong and should have been removed years ago. So Atomic Heart developer Mundfish has now, thankfully, but this is why it's still kind of being brought up and people are concerned and kind of questioning it, they have denied the claims that they're collecting user data and providing it to the Russian state authorities. Earlier in the week, a fairly explosive report from AN Capital, which I actually had a chance to see, and that's why I'm bringing up this video now, kind of see the response, give a full chance to respond, surfaced alleging that Mundfish's Russian store website included a clause informing users that their data may be collected and then sent to Russian state authorities, including the tax office and the Federal Security Service, or the FSB, and a Russian federal body with broad authority to implement government policies on national defense and counterterrorism. Now, if you guys kind of read that, that's kind of a mouthful, but that is insane, because this is also, I believe, like just an all-around console game, like PS5, Xbox, PC, and all that. Yeah, bro, this is literally them saying on our website, your data may be sent over here to the literal Russian, like, SFSB for counter-terrorism. Like, what's going on here? It's just very weird. So basically with this, you read that, and even I myself reading this out right now, you get a little bit concerned when it comes to your information. Now, thankfully, I mean, I live in Chicago, randomly over here in Illinois. I don't think the Russians can go and like spy and or like do anything probably with this information. Hopefully not, but it's always concerning. Like you never, like you see this clause and you kind of get called out and they're like, why is this even here in the first place? You never know, because the terms of service is always a little bit more on the sketchier side. So AIN also claims that Munfish's website policy cited Russian mobilization laws, under which soldiers are currently being recruited in Russia to continue the criminal war against Ukraine. Furthermore, AIN alleged Atomic Heart itself is being sponsored by Russian investors, and that Munfish listed its legal address as being in Moscow. Now, I almost want to say, I think people kind of knew that this was a Russian game. I think I knew this was either like, I think a Russian type style game itself, kind of like Escape from Tarkov. I myself am not like, if someone's in the country, I'm not going to, fault them for that one. But some of these other big things in terms of their other like terms of services and other like, I guess, bonuses like this are a little bit concerning to say the least. Because means like a lot of people, like more of even government bodies, are like, should we be banning this game? Should we be worried about this game? Are they actually collecting our information? Is this like some weird like Russian government like cover up? Are they trying to make like a video game just for the sake of receiving data? Like, I mean, that would actually, I mean, it's kind of convoluted, but if you have like millions of people that might go play your game and you have them sign up for their games and the websites, I mean, you could get information on millions of Americans or even your people in the UK, Europe, or whatever. I mean, like, not to go on the crazy horse, but it is always a possibility. And that's kind of what government bodies, like their regulators, would care about. So he's in a statement to Games Radar, though. Munfish refuted the claims of having data harvesting on the grounds that the privacy statement cited in AIN's report is outdated and wrong. So they are trying to like defute this. Apparently it was still on the website, and that's why people are concerned and making articles about it and tweeting about it, or why I'm making this YouTube video on it. And it is concerning still. I mean, thankfully they did go and change it, and they go and respond with this stating, our game and website do not collect any information or data, a spokesperson for Munfish said. The website's policy statement is outdated and wrong. You should have been removed years ago. We have shut down the shop to assure our fans of the integrity of our studio and products. We apologize for any confusion on this matter. So once again, I mean, they did go and address it and they did resolve it, which is nice. But whenever you have these kind of crazy terms of services and like data collection policies, a lot of folks were getting a little bit concerned. So, yeah, it's a little bit sketchy. So as I said, Munfish has not confirmed or denied claims that its website had once asked users to agree to data collecting, and that its privacy policy made mention of Russian authorities or has an office in Moscow. So earlier this month, the Atomic Heart developer was criticized for its statement on the Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, where they kind of make, I mean, for like that, for me and my take, that's like more on the political type side. I mean, I'm just a random YouTuber, it doesn't really matter. I think more so like you guys potentially playing a game that might have your data leaked or sent out without your permission might also be more of a bigger deal for me in terms of the news size, whatever. But I'll just read the article. The statement conspicuously doesn't mention the Russia-Ukrainian war specifically, but instead condemns offensive, hateful, discriminatory, violent, or other random actions too as well. And they're just a pro-peace organization too against violence. It's worth noting that Atomic Heart, which is Munfish's debut title, stars a KGB agent in an alternate future in which Soviet Union mastered robotics to defeat Nazi Germany to put an end to World War II, and then central to the more recent controversy on Munfish is whether or not the studios accepted funds from the Russian authorities in developing Atomic Heart 2 as well. So once again, this kind of leaning towards a lot more just people being curious. Maybe because it could be like even like a Russian propaganda game. Now, like I said, this is kind of like you put your tinfoil hat on here for, I'm saying, like, I don't believe this. I'm just saying what people might think, and what we've been seeing on social media is that some folks are like, bro, like you have all this potential data being collected. You are concerned. Is it just a normal game that just is based in Russia and they have like office over there and they're just trying to release a game? Or is there something more to it? Now, once again, I think this game has been cool. I've had a chance to see the game because I look through a lot of this type of content. Like, it does look like a genuinely cool art style game, and it does kind of seem like developers did put their time, money, and effort into it. You know, at the end of the day, you can kind of see like all the gameplay and the robots and everything else with this one. It's intriguing. Like, it's cool. It gives me BioShock vibes. And I myself think the game is a game I personally would want to go and play. Like, it's just unique enough, it's different enough, I like the art style with it. But once again, with all these kind of outside sources chiming on in and discussing this and potential like security breaches and all of that, kind of curious your thoughts down below. Or if you guys are just going to play it either way, because I mean, I'm always kind of curious. I never judge. When you guys want to do this, fine. You guys make your calls. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well. For the just in general, we have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have Target links down below. We have Amazon links down below with the How link for a few more days down below. And leave a like and give your thoughts and comments down below too as well, because this one's a little bit of a spicier news story.